Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we are back with another pick a card reading. It is timeless and it is love-based, sort of. It is love adjacent. So we're going to run with the topic of your future in-laws. So it's kind of love-based because it is very connected to your future spouse, right? You can only have in-laws by having a spouse. So we're going to look and see what we get. Who knows, maybe we'll get some hidden gems, some secrets, some tea on who your future spouse is just by seeing what their parents are like, right? So, or just their family in general, because I have no idea what's going to come out. I'm just going to lead with a general energy of seeing what your future in-laws are like with you. And that's it. So whatever comes out, comes out. So do not hold me accountable, okay? Now, I'm not going to delay this any further. I am going to hop right into the pile selection. Now, this is the point in the reading for those of you that may be visually impaired, or if you simply like to listen to me verbally describe each pile, it's now. So we are choosing from breakfast or brunch, your preference, plates, right? So pile one is kind of a bowl saucer of oatmeal with assorted fruits. Pile two is kind of a crepe pastry. It's filled with cream and it has assorted fruits, bananas, strawberries, all of the things. And then pile three is like a standard fried egg, sunny side up with some sausage. And then pile four is some square-shaped waffles with assorted fruit on top. Okay, and I feel called to say that those of you where it's like there's not something that's really calling to you, maybe it's not your reading, or maybe you need to just be a little more imaginative. So, for example, if your standard breakfast is like cereal, just pick the oatmeal, right? Let's not make it difficult. So, I will give you a moment to meditate on your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile one, my oatmeal with fruit pile. Let's see your future in-laws. All right. Let me see. Tell me about my oatmeal and fruit pile. Tell me about their in-laws. Strength, courage, endurance. That's interesting. So I will say that here your future in-laws already see you as just a very strong, very healthy, very patient match for your future spouse. So like it doesn't have, it can be someone you know, it doesn't have to be, it could be all of the connections that we often link in the description box, all of the labels that you all like to use to reference your connections. But I'm seeing immediately that your future in-laws like you a lot. They think that you're like the perfect catch. They just feel like you're really strong, just a strong match, I'm hearing, right? Like with their child, right? With their person, the person you end up marrying. And I don't know if it's just because you're just a strong catch in general, or if they just feel like you're really compatible and exactly what your future spouse needs, right? And some of you, it's like they like that you challenge your future spouse. Like you don't just roll with what they do and say, you kind of like you challenge them and make them think outside of the box and everything. But again, the strength card, it is a symbol of patience. So just kind of being very patient and working with them as they work through the motions and kind of in some ways leading them where they need to go. Okay. But yeah, I mean, just powerful. This is actually a Leo energy, right? Lots of personality, strong personality. Like your personality fits in with the family really well. And like, that's just something they like a lot. Fifth house energy of joy and pleasure, just a good time, fun, just the whole family loves when you come around. That's the energy I'm getting from your future in-law. So great introduction for you. That is sun solar energy. It's like the life of the party. Everyone's excited to have you when you come around your in-laws. That's great. I love that. You may be a bit outspoken too, and they like that. They like that you are your true self, your personality. You don't put a filter on just because you're in the family. Like, I'm not saying you're not formal or respectful, because Strength and Leo, that is a kind of regal energy. It is a certain grace that you still carry yourself with, but it at the same time, it's not phony, it's not an act. You are your authentic self, and you're very comfortable with your future in-laws. Great energy, and a lot of energy coming from the one card immediately. So I feel like immediately this will be the response. I will dig more and see. I have this, I want to pull more. I have the 2 astrology based decks and a few loved ones, so we'll dive deeper and see if any other energies come through. But I'm not gonna lie, it's like a love at first sight for your future in-laws as well. So I don't know if your person's just gonna be like, oh, I met this person, they're amazing, like I can't wait till you meet them, we're getting married. Like, this family seems excited about you immediately. So let's see. Let me get more cards. I'm not gonna lie, it's making me feel a little perked up. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little low on energy starting this reading. It's a very dark, cloudy, gloomy day. Like, I didn't get to go outside and take my walk because it's gonna rain. But I feel like my energy just kind of picked up just by stepping into your pile. So great energy, pile 1. Love that. Let me get 2 more cards. We will take the bottom. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So another major arcana, okay? Another major arcana. And Leo, Gemini, summer energy, very summery energy. I don't know if that's relevant, like if your birthday's in the summer, or maybe you'll meet your future in-laws in the summer, but like, and this is timeless. It doesn't mean this upcoming summer, right? For most of you, it just means like warmer seasons. I'm feeling like maybe relevant time periods because Gemini, Leo, and yeah, it feels like a very, very, honestly, it's almost like soul tribe, because you have 2 major arcana cards. It's like you were always meant to be a part of this family, like to kind of marry into this family, this bloodline. So that is interesting energy, but again, very sweet energy, because it just feels like you fit in, like you were born to be in this family, even though you weren't. Like literally, like they're adopting you, like you are theirs now, because that is the energy for this power. Now, Magician, it says willpower and creation. That's that energy, that very strong energy that I'm getting. So you come across as very intelligent, possibly well-spoken, whatever that means to your future in-laws. They just see you as very smart, very creative, very active. Like, I don't know if you're just, I don't know what your life will be like at that point. I don't know what it's like now, but it seems like at the point in which you are getting married, right? Or are married, and you have, you know, in-laws, they see you as someone that's very creative, very successful, very respected in whatever it is you're doing, either career-wise or academically. I'm just getting that with Strength and the Magician combined. Some of you are just very good cooks, right? And I'm not even like, it's not a gender thing at all. Like, some of you cook very well, because I see the Magician as like cooking in some sense. So like, they like whatever it is you cook and prepare and make. They like how you decorate the home. They like how, like, whatever it is that you're encouraging, or whatever growth they've seen in your future spouse at the point in which they're close to you. They like the growth, the development. They like the home vibe. They like the ambience. They like the coupling. Okay, great. And like I said, that is Gemini energy, 3rd house energy. So you're all often on the same page. I don't see many disagreements. Even if people aren't really, don't agree, right? It's still an energy of being able to communicate and being able to respect one another, and just, I don't know, something about it. You just all communicate very well together. Okay, definitely the case. On local energy, some of you will live close to the in-laws. I don't know if that means you won't be. I don't know what that means. The statement is what it is. I don't know if that means you're moving away from where you are. I don't know if that means you're meeting someone where you are. Just as we ask specific to your in-laws, it feels like you're going to be very close in proximity to them, at least enough for them to feel like you are very close. Okay, localized energy. So let me get one more and we'll take the bottom. And we'll hop into those oracle decks. So tell me more about pile one's future in-laws. I'm telling you, it's soul tribe energy. Everyone loves each other. It's great. So far, let's see. I don't mean to be so ominous about it. I don't believe the energy is going to shift. I promise. I just, we have a lot of decks to go through. So I want to make sure we're mindful of that. Those are two, so we'll take them. Page of Shells, intuition, inspiration. Yeah, I mean, Page of Shells talks about an offer. It talks about messages, because pages are messengers, and it's very youthful energy. So I could immediately see the family like, okay, when are y'all having kids? Like, where's the kids? Like, oh, we can't wait for the kids so that we can have the babies all the time. Like, that's the energy coming through for your future in-laws. Like these are people that want children in the family and they can't wait for children. So I don't know what space you or your future spouse are going to be in, but these people are immediately like, so what about the children? Okay, that's what it is. That's cute. But also with this being messengers, it's a message of love and being open and loving. Like this is a very nurturing, welcoming environment that you'll be stepping into with your future spouses. Okay, spouses, oh goodness, in-laws. I don't know, some of you it may be a second marriage. Okay, if this is resonating, then take it. If not, leave it. But some of you it's not a first spouse, it's a second, possibly even third spouse. But these in-laws, it's like a very loving environment, but they definitely want to know about kids. Okay, doesn't matter the age. So like, even if you've reached beyond that point of having children, or you're at an age where it's just not something that you want, or in a situation where it's not really realistic, if you already have kids, they want those kids around, and we're talking pets as well. Okay, however that energy aligns with you. They want to hear the story, especially in the first meeting. They want to hear the story of how you two met, how, you know, you were pursued, or how, you know, you pursued, like however the connection happened. They want all the details. They're super nosy with Gemini. Like I can see them being super nosy, especially as we talk about your future spouse's parents, regardless of gender. With the Magician and Gemini, they're very well aligned. So it doesn't mean that they're together, because like I don't want to assume it's general messages, but for those of you where the parents are still together, it's like ultimate soulmate goals coupling, and they're very much alike, and they're very nosy. Okay, and even where they're not, there's still a lot alike if you really pay attention. Like even if the in-laws hate each other and they're split and they've married other people, you'll notice that both couplings on the in-law sides are still very invested in the same energy with you and your future spouse. So that's funny, but nosy, wanting to know all of the details of how you came to be, how you've been dating, what's going on with absolutely everything. And look at that, you've got the Queen of Shells. There's peace and compassion. So I find, yeah, definitely the case. They see you as very loving, nurturing. Again, I see the cooking, I see the craftiness, the very creative energy coming through regardless of gender. Just something about the way you do things. They just really love whatever addition it is you bring to the family, to family gatherings, to all of the stuff. Okay, and then with Page of Shells leading into the Queen of Shells, some of you, and this is not gender specific, your person has matured, will mature through their connection with you. I know that doesn't sound ideal, and maybe you won't even realize it because you'll just be so used to that version of your person that you meet, right? But the family will be like, oh, this person was never like that. And now they're super mature, very expressive, know what they're doing, more driven, more accomplished. And they just feel like you're really a good influence on your future spouse, okay? And I can see with Strength the Magician leading that Page of Shells energy to the Queen, it shows like, oh, I can see exactly why you pursued Pile One. Pile One is amazing. They're a great catch. Like, you're so lucky to have found Pile One, like to your future spouse, like making sure your future spouse understands how amazing you are. That's cute. So let's see what's at the bottom. King of Acorns. Yeah, they're like, tell us about how you pursued Pile 1, tell us all about it. Like, I know Pile 1 had options, but like, how did you get Pile 1? And it does say optimism and innovation, but that talks about that energy, right? I do get a strong polarity of masculine and feminine energy here. It doesn't mean anything regarding gender. It just means that one of you, you're both very strong and in your power, but there's clearly a personality difference between the two of you, in that one of you kind of has like a more masculine, like a traditionally masculine edge, and the other has a more traditionally feminine edge. And I see you kind of both bringing that out of one another. And that, I think that is that energy of you two just working really well together that the in-laws are picking up on. Okay? Because whoever is the one with the masculine edge between the two of you, definitely, like, it's like a fire lit within them once they came into contact, or will come into contact with the one that is more feminine in nature, right? We've got the king, which is the masculine energy, and fire, which is typically a more masculine energy. And you have that queen of shells. Queens are more feminine energy, obviously, and shells are water, which is cup. So fire and water, that's kind of the dynamic between the two of you, but it works very well in harmony. And that is really what people, the in-laws specifically, admire about the union. Great energy. So let me hop right into these astrology-based oracle decks so we can get more energy. Tell me about Pile 1's future in-laws. What's that relationship like? I figured we'd get some tea on your future spouse as well, because I mean, you can't ask about the in-laws because they exist in your world because of the spouse. So we're seeing someone that really stepped into their own, and I'm speaking in past tense, so a lot of you may already have come into contact with this person, or maybe beginning stages, or maybe you are already there and you're just looking to see what they think of you. You can see that. But yeah, a lot of you, this will definitely be future energy. Hence the question I led with, right? Tell me about Pile 1's future spouses. I'm saying future spouse, but I meant future in-laws. So this may be relevant. Let's see. We've got 2. Y'all, I can't make this up. I love, you saw me shuffle live, all of the things. And like, I'm talking about I accidentally, and that's why I have to be mindful of my energy. I accidentally said, tell me about the future spouse, but I meant the in-laws. But you've got the confirmation here. Look at that. Fire and water. Okay, so water says spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. It is water, the signs of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And then you have fire, right? And then it says confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. You have that word. Actually, you have compassion here. That's crazy. So I'm going to just go ahead and call out that energy that I was reading. So like I said, everyone that's been familiar with the channel, you know, everyone is welcome here. All of you picking this pile, you are one energy dominantly, and your person that you will end up, or and you know, because you know you're typically likely attracted to that energy, is the opposite. One is dominantly feminine and the other is dominantly masculine, because water and fire. And I'm going to pick up the other cards just so that we can see the comparison. These cards, even though the coloring is similar, because I'm trying to be like in the springtime, which is my timeline I'm on, are not created by the same creator to my knowledge. I didn't buy them any point of time in the same, like they're very different decks. One is actually an oracle, one is the tarot, but you have the same energy. So someone may be a water sign, someone may be a fire sign, or one or both of you may just be dominant in one way or both ways. But these signs are relevant. These water signs and these fire signs, which is the fires are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But this is what I wanted to talk about, is that feminine energy, we'll just call it divine since people like those labels, this divine feminine energy that's stepping through with this Queen of Shells, right? Which is the Queen of Cups. So you've got Queen of Cups, right? With water. And she says peace. And this is a unique deck because they have keywords on it unique to the deck. And it says peace and compassion. And then you have water, which says spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion, right? So that is here to confirm that energy. Well, let's look at the fire card in this King of Acorns, which fire, right? Water, water, fire, fire. You've got, right? The King of Acorns says optimism and innovation, and then fire says confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. So optimism and compassion seems to be interesting energy that is heavily coming through as your personality type. So the one of you that is more masculine in nature is obviously the more optimistic of the two of you. It's not gender specific, y'all. I'm telling you. Some of you may be a little surprised. And then the one of you that is more feminine nature is a lot more compassionate, right? So again, active versus more receptive. And those are the two energies that really topped out as I was accidentally saying future spouse. But it's important to the reading of your future in-laws because they see that dynamic. You are like, you know, you are either the water to this person's fire. You know, tame them, stop them from getting too hot and nurture them where they need it. Or you're the fire to the water, right? You don't let them get too, into the depths, right? You pull them out of the darkness and into the light. Like it harmonizes in that way. And that's how your in-laws see you, as truly the perfect match for your future spouse. So like that is the overlying theme, is they see you as the perfect match, like sent from above, like perfect, okay, for their person. And then house 3 energy coming through, it says early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. Now house 3, that is magician energy, is Gemini, again, ruled by Mercury. So again, communicating very well. Again, localized energy, very specifically called out with the house 3 card. It talks about being close. So even if there's not a physical closeness between you and your in-laws, you are you're going to be very close to your in-laws. Like that's just how it's going to happen. But because they're going to see you two as like water and fire, like it's crazy. Like it's a lot, but they're going to want to know all about your business. I told you, super nosy people. Very sweet, very fun, very passionate, very loving, very nosy, all up in y'all's business, okay? Like they want to know about your childhood, where you went to school. Oh, did you go to university? What did you major in? Okay, give us your entire resume. Where'd you work? Where are you trying to go? Like, where's the children? Like with early learning, because it's children energy coming through again. Like when are you having children? Oh, what about the pets? Okay, like that's the energy, like super nosy, lots of conversations, wanting to talk all the time. Honestly, Power One, these are the types of in-laws that call you every day. They call you, if you're not there, like they'll call you every day. And if you're nearby, they'll like they'll pop up, okay? That's how in your business they are. But from a sweet way, they may in the shadow sense be a little overbearing, but it's truly from a place of love. Like they love you, they want to be close to you and your future spouse, and they love how well you fit in with the family. Because I could see in-laws of this nature, like their worst fear is their like child, or like it doesn't have to be niece, nephew, whoever, like marrying someone that doesn't fit in. Because this feels like a very close-knit family. It's like, oh my gosh, what if like such and such ends up with someone that we don't like? Like how do we get around that? Because how do you get around that? But they'll be so excited and thrilled. And honestly, some of you, I don't know why, the strength, King of Acorns energy with the magician feels hyper independent. So I'm not saying that's your person, it could be you, but it feels like someone that maybe won't even like they weren't even expecting this person to like find someone, much less like you, Power One, with the house 3, like since childhood. They like, it feels like maybe the person you end up with, and it could be a mirroring with the Gemini energy coming through twice. It could be you and this person may connect on that. Like this person feels not like the dark sheep, like the black sheep of the family. It doesn't feel like that, but it just, they're a bit eccentric in some ways. And like people in the family were like, yeah, ever since they were young, like, yeah, no, I don't know. We're gonna have to see about this one, how this one turns out. So that's funny. But I just see the family kind of being awestruck with you and this person. So let me keep pulling cards. This is not what I was expecting, but I love this positive energy for you, Power One. Like I was expecting some gritty. No, I got like the best thing for you. I like it. So let me see I'm gonna pull from this deck, and then I have 3 more decks. I'll pull from, I have 3 love decks, and I don't know how they're gonna translate for this kind of reading, but we'll try it out. We'll try it out. Tell me more about pile 1's future in-laws. I feel like they've been, like, it's a waiting. So it may be a while before you meet them initially. Like a waiting game. Like they can't, like they're waiting to meet you, you're waiting to meet them. They may not realize you exist. Honestly, yeah, definitely the case, because the card you have here, New Moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. So Libra is Venus energy. It is all about romance and relationships, and that is 7th house energy, okay? It talks about contracts and relationships on paper. So this is the card of, like, when it comes to relationships and dating, this is the house that rules actual marriage in, like, on paper, right? Like, you can be engaged, you can be dating, but it's until it's like really on paper, like, you know what I mean? That's the energy. So with this falling in reverse, I'm telling you, I think I mentioned it a couple of seconds ago, they, like your future in-laws probably didn't think your person would ever, like, marry. Like, this person feels like they're on their own, and they're like, with magician energy, is like, I can do anything by myself on my own. So, like, it's just really intriguing that this person ends up. And this also talks about a bit of a delay in marriage. So, like, you may date your future spouse for a little bit of while in secret and not letting people know before it happens. So, like, I mean, like a really private engagement. So you may be engaged for a while before you actually, like, even let people know that you're together. I don't know why that's coming through for some of you, but I can see that, okay? Because, like I said, a new romantic cycle begins in reverse, okay? Like, wow, we didn't think this would ever happen. We did not see marriage in the cards for this one. Okay, that's funny. Take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. And again, I did get that energy earlier that was coming through. I'll put this here. That was coming through where I was saying, what did I say? Spouses or something like that. Some of you, this is your confirmation. It's not the dominant energy here, but some of you, this is just a confirmation that it's going to happen after another marriage is dissolved or was dissolved, if this is past energy, okay? Like a second spouse. And like this is your confirmation, those of you in that energy, that it's not your past in-laws that I'm touching on, that I am in fact touching on the ones that are incoming. Some of you needed to know that. And some of you here, you don't have to be married for the reading to apply to your in-laws, okay? That's why that card is coming out in reverse, because like I said, that is marriage on paper. So those of you where, even if you don't believe in marriage, right? Like when you say in-laws, like you still consider the person who you're with long term, right? Especially once you start having children, even if you never actually get married, that's your family. Those are your children's family by blood. Those are people that you interact with in, like, on a close day-to-day basis in some instances. So just because it's not a physical marriage on paper legally in the Libra sense doesn't mean that this pile cannot apply for you. I like that came out as the confirmation for my long-term connections, okay, you guys? So yeah, definitely doesn't have to be your actual married on paper partner if that's not your situation, but this is still how these people see you. All right. All right. And then taking time to breathe out, disseminating mood, it's definitely slowing someone down that was not, that possibly even had a fear of commitment, right? With this Libra energy in reverse, like someone that is deeply afraid of marriage, right? And commitments. Interesting. Some of you, because your in-laws are super nosy and they talk a lot. Like you will learn all of your person's business from their family because they are so nosy. I don't know why it's giving, like I'm hearing the word it's a hoot right now, because like they're like, you're getting all the tea from the in-laws, because like would take that time to breathe out. It's like, yeah, man, ever since, especially with early childhood, it's like ever since such and such broke you know, this person's heart. We thought they had just given up on love, you know, with this in reverse. And like they took time to themselves, and we just didn't think they would ever get out of that magician single energy. But here you are, like that's the energy I'm getting. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's funny. I can see why this family is very excited about you. They didn't think it would happen for this person. They didn't think this person would be open to it. So now it's like the family's trying to like be married or close to you, like to help this person keep you. Like, let's be extra nice to pile one so that they don't go away. Right? That's funny. This is a very lighthearted pile. Your person's energy is not lighthearted, just so we're clear. That's why it's such a hoot. Like, it's your person's kind of seems like they've been through things. They may have a bit of trauma. I don't think that they may project it into the connection very much, because you're ending up at the point where you're very deeply committed or possibly even married. But again, again, that's not what we're asking, and I'm not going to go off topic. If it comes through, I'll touch on it lightly. But this family is super impressed that your person, your future spouse, is like landing you. Okay, let me pull from, so I got this one, and I got the two like romance angel based ones, and then I have the twin flame soulmate oracle that I will pull from to close it out. So tell me more about pile one's future in-laws. I've got two. I might want three. So chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So yeah, this family can see the chemistry. They're like, oh my gosh, like this is someone that like, first of all, like pile one actually likes our person, right? Like they're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. They're like, pile one is really actually attracted to our person, and like it's a thing. And they're like, we didn't think that this person would ever have this level of chemistry with anyone. So especially if your person is a bit withdrawn and doesn't have very kind of like a standoffish, like a strong silent type in some instances. Like it feels like your person may be a little more expressive with that page of shells here towards you. It's even in the presence of family members, to the point where they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's happening. That's the energy. And this also talks about you having amazing chemistry just with the family in general. Like I said, it's like you were born to be in this family, literally. Like you are one of theirs at that point. And like you have chemistry not only with your future spouse, but with the family, the in-laws too. That's so sweet. So here, look at that. I love it. I love the energy for you. This is like, I don't even want to say it's the best pile because it's the first pile and I haven't touched the other ones yet, but look at that. Wedding. The situation involves marriage. So if you two, so when it comes to your in-laws at whatever stage of the connection, like if you meet them as you're dating, so they'll be like, oh my gosh, pile one is perfect for you. When are you going to marry them? Like marry pile one before they like get away. Like don't wait on that. And then it will also, in some instances, if you meet after an engagement, they're like, okay, that's fine. We love you. When is the wedding? Because again, they're very, I don't want to say aggressive. They're not aggressive, but like the family is like, they're not shy. I'll say that. They are not shy, your future in-laws, at all. Like they're not. So it's like, oh my gosh, like I could actually see, you know, like a specific example of where this energy is coming from is if your person's not like, they thought it was a lost cause, your person would never find someone, never be open to like dating, getting married, just eternal loner in some sense. And they feared that for them. Like your person like calls them and is like, hey, so I met somebody, we're engaged. And the family's like, what do you mean you engaged? We didn't meet this person. Like, who's that? So, and then, you know, they bring you and immediately they're like, oh no, when is the wedding? Like that's the kind of personalities that are screaming at me from these cards from your future in-laws. So that's cute. I want to pull, do I want to pull? Maybe I'll just take the bottom. I'll take the bottom. I'm not going to make this longer than it has to be. Let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. Yeah, I mean, this is a family. Like this, like this is the family that's like, yeah, no, we're going to call such and such. They'll make the arrangements. I already know who can do the catering. Like, you know, such and such is an interior designer. Like, let's just get this going. Like, that's the energy, in a sense where, you know, a wedding is being planned. Like this is a very fussy family as it relates to weddings, okay? I can see that being a huge deal. And let your friends help you talks about extended family. It talks about close friends, family friends, cousins, aunts, uncles. That's why I was getting that vibe for this pile coming through. Like everybody wants to meet the pile one that captured such and such's heart, right? Like everyone wants to meet, everyone wants to be involved, everyone wants to interact. Like this is their future spouse is very, very invested in their family and friends, okay? And you'll see that very, very quickly, okay? So let me pull from this other deck. All right. Tell me more about pile one's future in love. So let me, pile one, tell you what happened. Something happened literally as I started to shuffle this deck, and I got 2 cards, and like, I don't know if that's just a counter energy or spirit wants me to just mention it and move on, but like right now it literally just stopped recording just for absolutely no reason, and it's never done that before. So spiritual awakening, I was mentioning that your person was like deeply spiritual now, like this is not someone that would have, I don't want to dwell on it because it clearly was a message that I need to just reshuffle, but this is a spiritual connection. Your person probably would have gone single or just dating around, avoiding commitment for quite some time, and that this connection coming in with you is just really awakened them, maybe made them a little more religious, maybe a little more spiritual, just more insightful with more purpose. And, you know, then that interferes of confirming that. But that's not the energy that spirit wants me to talk about, because again, as soon as the cards came out, it stopped recording. So let me reshuffle and get 2 more cards for your pile to tell you more about your future in-laws. So tell me about pile one's future in-laws. I'm seeing your person does have baggage that maybe will come out in another reading or has come out in a past reading I've done. Go out, definitely pick a pile for any other like future spouse related connections that I have on the channel, just so you can get more info on your person. But the family is thrilled, okay? Also, with let your friends help you, I want to go back to that. It feels like your person's friends are also super nosy, but like the in-laws are like, oh, so like, did you meet through such and such? Like, did you meet the friends? Like, what did the friends have to say? Did the friends like help you like get the courage to talk to pile one? Like, they want to know the friends' involvement, or what did the friends tell you when you first told them you were dating someone? Like something about the friends. I'm hearing some of you, the in-laws are so blunt. It's hilarious. They like get in front of you and they're like, look at you. Now you have pile one, so you can hang out with your friends more since they're all married and you're not. Like, that's chaotic. But this person's family is not shy. I repeat. All right, so let me get 2 cards from this deck. We'll take that one and I'll pull another one in a second. Tell me more about the in-laws. Safe place. Yeah, exactly. It says there's nothing like being able to let your guard down and know that you are protected by your partner's love. They love how protective you are over your person, but how protective your person is over you. Like something about you, pile one, it feels like you really had this person kind of step out and step into a mature energy. Right? Not saying they weren't mature, but just something about it, like that fear of commitment. Like your in-laws, they really see the comfort and safety between the 2 of you. Okay? And again, that's also that very welcoming environment that they're creating for you. So this family actually, like I said, they see you as one of their own at that point. Okay? Let me get my last one from this deck. We'll take the bottom. Tell me more about pile one's future in-laws, please. That's a lot. I'll take the one that came upright and then this one, and we'll look at the bottom. It kind of mirrors the original energy that came through though, because we had spiritual awakening and now we have faith. It says trust and believe that love is here to stay this time around. Don't let fear or doubt interfere. Those of you, especially where we're talking about second, possibly third marriage, this is a message like this is truly it. And the in-laws won't be worried about that, especially if it's your person's first marriage. They're not concerned. They're just really happy that your person found their match. And then faith is like this is a family that really believes in the connection. This is possibly a religious family in some sense, deeply spiritual or religious, because like that energy was coming through heavily. So like they're really feeling like, you know, like they're praying for the connection and hoping that it succeeds and is supporting in any way they can, right? With safe place and have faith. Also, it talks about your person having a renewed sense of faith in the world, whether religion, spiritual or not, just a sense of faith in themselves and their future and their purpose, right? Like just finding themselves through the union with you. Not saying completely through the union with you, but supporting it. And then we have the memories, telling all of your person's business, everything they did in childhood with that house 3 Gemini energy, everything they got into with their friends, with let friends help you, like all of their business, pulling out all of the pictures, pulling out all of the cameras because they want to take more pictures and make more memories, like filming everything. That's your in-laws. And it says someone is walking down memory lane at this time. It's okay to reminisce about the past by looking at old photos or messages. So yeah, this family is like, let's look at all of the pictures. Let's take more pictures. Oh my gosh, show me your pictures. Like these are the in-laws that when they get like with your family, it's like a lot because they share pictures, they share stories. They're like, it's a thing. Like I would expect if this is a true ceremony in terms of wedding, and this is a type of family that would definitely fight for one if that's not what you want, all kinds of pictures from all eras of life. They want all of the pictures. I think it's sweet though. Let's see the bottom. Look who's back. Spiritual awakening. Your partner is sensing that there is something profoundly important about this connection. So it came back. It came back. It was very intended to be in this reading. Safe place, have faith, memories, spiritual awakening. This is a family that, as we talk about a wedding, they want the church wedding. Like, you know, they want the church, mosque, whatever the religious upbringing is. They want the ceremony. Okay? They want the ceremony. They have pictures of all of the ceremonies from the family. They want it. They're like, oh, you will stand before God and this union. Like that's the energy, you know, regardless of religion. You are like, what do you mean you're not having a ceremony? You know what I mean? This is that family. So just know. But I do see a deep sense of purpose and just broadening of horizons for your person. Like your person seems more intense in a good way to their family. Like they really love what the union is bringing out of them. Okay, so let me close this out with the Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle. Tell me more about Pile One's future spouse and their in-laws. And so we can close this out. This is a family that will compare you to all of the exes that exist. And be like, Pile One is definitely like the one. Like this is the one, right? With spiritual awakening and have faith. Like they're like, yeah. Okay. Like they definitely compare you to the other people, okay? Faith. Deeply spiritual or religious family, okay? Faith. But faith talks about your person. Faith could be someone's name here, okay? There may be, it could be your name, your person's name, could be a family member specific, okay? But faith is huge here, okay? It's huge as it relates to your in-laws and your connection with them. And your relationship with your future spouse, actually. Let me see if I can get 2 more before we close it out. Walk away. What is that? It's interesting. Let me see. Let me get my last one and we'll see. Tell me more about One's future in-laws. Okay. Telling all your person's business. That's exactly what the in-laws will do. I think it's funny that it waited for the Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle deck to do that. So, ecstasy. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the friends or if it's just the loudmouth like in-laws. They don't care. They say what they have to say. Like with faith, they're like, I prayed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is so dramatic, but it's funny because I can literally hear like someone's, like specifically mom, like, I prayed that you would eventually stop playing these games outside in the streets with all these different people, like about your person, like your future spouse, or even in some senses, it could be like your family to you. But like, it's like, I prayed for this day where this person would stop being the way that they are, like playing games, avoiding connections, or being promiscuous, and just settle down with someone, right? That's literally, I can hear the in-law saying that. Like, we prayed for this. We prayed for this, regardless of religion. Like, miracles happen. That's the energy that your future in-laws are having. Like, you're the miracle that they prayed for, okay? So I love that for you, okay? So that is all I have for you today, Pile 1. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on that channel. Thank you for watching. All right, Pile 2. So you selected the plate with the crepe pastry. It has cream and assorted fruit. So let's just get into your future in-laws. I said in intro that we don't know what's going to come through here. I'm leading with what your relationship with them like. We may get a little tea on your future spouse as well, just because, again, there's no in-laws without a future spouse, right? So let's get into it. I'm going to pull from this tarot deck. I've got 2 astrology-based oracle decks, and I have 3 love-based oracle ones that include a twin flame soulmate oracle hybrid. So let me see. Tell me about Pile 2's future in-laws. Okay. What is that? Why is it in reverse? So you've got the sun, vitality and joy, and it's in reverse. I don't think that please don't overreact. We're gonna see what's going on, because you may come across as a bit closed, like closed off, a little guarded, a little more mysterious, right? Because the sun is a bright shining light, and it's very loud and a lot of personality. It's actually 5th house, joy, pleasure, like fun. Like they may see you as a bit serious, a bit possibly moody, a little mysterious. But I'm gonna keep pulling cards and see. Tell me more about Pile 2, like some secrets, like a lot of secrets. I don't know why. So tell me more about Pile 2's future in-laws. Or maybe they have secrets, right? Like there's things that they don't want you to know. We'll see. King of Feathers, logic, justice. There's always a polarity. So some of you, the future in-laws are already seeing you as kind of like a bit serious, right? Like very logical, kind of work-oriented, study-oriented, whatever the task is, just taking things very seriously. Or this is the nature of your future spouse, and I'm wondering how that's gonna tie in. So let me get another card. Very smart though, right? Like very smart, very intelligent. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. I said I was already leading with the energy of it being a bit of a polarity, and here we are. I love all of the unions that we have coming through today. I'll see what's at the bottom in a second, but the reason I'm having this energy is because you've got the Queen of Feathers. Sorry if it's blurred. It's a cloudy day. It's like no sunshine. It's a day like the sun reversed because it's raining. Well, it hasn't started yet. That's the worst part. It's like anticipating the rain. But we've got this union with the King of Feathers, the Queen of Feathers. So logic and justice, perception and truth. That's the union. Okay, and that's how the in-laws see the two of you collectively. So it's fine. It's fine, regardless of gender. Doesn't matter who's more masculine, feminine. You both are like alike, just alike. Both of you are like possibly workaholics, very studious, very focused on practical things and getting things done. Like literally 2 halves of a whole. I'm not even gonna lie. King of feathers, queen of feathers. You both may be very sharp with your words. Like you may be very smart, but not very tactful in your your delivery. Like like the in-laws are like, yeah, I see it. It makes sense. They're just alike. And like, it's fine that they see you as like mysterious, possibly like not very open, a bit closed off, because they're used to that energy from your future spouse. Like they're not, like it doesn't seem like they're gonna hold that against you if you're moody, if you're like abrasive, because that is exactly how their person, child, niece, nephew, whoever is. Okay, like like when you come through, it's like the same person in a freaky sort of way in some instances. Like you two may like have like a very specific, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, those couples that bond over having a very specific order from a restaurant that they both, only the two of them like, that's you. That's you and your future spouse. And the in-laws, they understand. They're fine. So like if you know you have like a bit of an alternative personality, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, by the way. There is nothing wrong with you. I think you're super interesting, pal, too. But if you're a bit eccentric in some ways, or not very open, and if you're not very social, like if you don't like to go outside as much, your person is literally the same. It makes sense. They're like, oh, they made their match. So at the bottom, you have the Page of Shells. Yeah, exactly. Intuition and inspiration. So I wouldn't worry about any, because I could see this pile worrying like, oh my gosh, what is that? Five of Feathers. Yeah, like exactly. Worry that you'll say the wrong things, that they won't like you. And like, I'll take this card. Like this worry that you'll say, like that you'll self-sabotage, that the in-laws won't like you because of how you are. Like, especially if you know you're not the most intuitive, right? Because these energies could be a lacking of intuition. Sun reverse could be a lack of awareness, a lack of sight, like realizing, like a lack of forethought, like of just kind of saying what's on your mind exactly as it is, and it's very rude. Like if you're worried that you'll be rejected by your future in-laws, honestly, they may be that way in and of themselves. And even if they're not, your future spouse, regardless of gender, is that way. Like there's like, you are just like them, and they've been around them their whole life. It's fine. Okay, with the Page of Shells, they're like, oh, that's so sweet. I didn't think that, you know, this person would find another weirdo like them, but here they are. That's so cute. I love it for you. I love that you'll find someone that understands your quirks, because sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes adjusting, you know what I mean? Like I like people say opposites attract, and it's true, but like having to adjust your personality can be a lot in some instances, especially if you have a very unconventional one. So I think that's sweet that you'll find like your own little unconventional niche coupling with someone, and the family's like, oh yeah, that's crazy that this person found Pao Tu. In this whole world of people, they actually found someone that's just as eccentric as them. I love that. That's cute. And when I say eccentric, I just mean different from the family, or different from like the area, the culture around them, right? But again, very intelligent, possibly even like successful people. This is that very stiff couple. Like, you know how people are like, oh, like if I go to their house, I don't know if I would be allowed to sit on the sofa. Like it's very stiff. You know, that kind, a little bit, sometimes a little bit. That's kind of what you and your future spouse give, a little bit. So let me pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. Part 2. Tell me. Matter of fact, let me look at your, like, how is your thumbnail in reference to the other ones? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It is, like, this is a couple that's kind of a little bit bougie. I can see it, and I'm looking at, like, the pile, and yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that this is that pile, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like the energy I'm getting. So let's see more about how your future in-laws, like what your relationship with them is like. Okay. House 8, transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. Don't let the Scorpio energy scare you. It's not. I feel like this is a transformative connection between the two of you, and like between you and your in-laws. Could be the two of you, you and your future spouse, and the in-laws, like changing their perspectives, changing their ways, because we have inheritances. So I feel, and oh, by the way, like down the line, I'll say it like that because I don't like this kind of, I don't like the implication of the message, But like this is a set of in-laws. Like these in-laws will leave you to a lot. Like you will receive inheritances from these in-laws. Okay? When that time comes. And some of you, it could very well be that, you know, the in-laws are already non-existent. Hence I don't want to say non-existent. They exist. They may have already crossed over in some sense, like certain family members. That is why you have the sun in reverse, like the sun has already set. So some of you, your future spouse may be possibly an orphan. Maybe it could be mutual, or maybe, you know what I mean? Like they've lost a parent, or a very prominent grandparent, or you know what I mean? Like someone may have crossed over, but there's an inheritance here. So when it comes to your connection with your in-laws, they will be making sure that you are taken care of in terms of, you know, material items. And that doesn't have to mean in death. That could also be in life as well. Like this is a family that is very supportive of you and your connection with your future spouse, whether you need it or not. Okay? Interesting. Okay, so let me, and that is Scorpio Pluto energy, right? Shifting those mysteries. There's a lot of secrecy here. I'm not gonna lie. Like there may be like family secrets that you just don't know about, that they keep from you for whatever reason, because that's that secrecy energy still coming through. I want one more and I'll take the bottom. Tell me more about Pautu's relationship with their in-laws. Deeply transformative. I don't know if because there's a bit of an energy that is unconventional coming through. Maybe they changed the way, like something about you and your union with this person, your future spouse, is changing these people. It's changing your in-laws, right? Like 5 of feathers, something about them have to change to some degree in order for the union to continue. I don't know what that's all about, but I get that in some sense, okay? I see some energy of like making sure, like with that 5 of feathers, like that abrasive energy that it looks like you and your person has. It's like that family may be that way, and they're kind of having like toe the line and make sure that they don't like say something rude. House 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. Yeah, okay, so this is day-to-day, mundane, routine. So a lot of you, your in-laws will be a part of your day-to-day life. Now, some of you, it may be an issue, I don't know, but house 8 being a change and a transformation and leading into house 6 feels like a shift, a change, a complete like flip of a routine. So the way that your in-laws are used to living or doing their life will change based on this union. So it could be, like I say, inheritance on like your left, like you and your future spouse, but some of you, your future spouse is really supporting their parents and maybe siblings or something. And like with this person starting their own family, it will have to change and it will deeply impact their day-to-day life, possibly health in some areas, because they were relying on your future spouse. I can see that, okay? Interesting. But that is Virgo energy, right? Details. And that detailed energy is also, you know, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? Planet of communication. It talks about being mindful with your words and the things you say and the things you share. So there's some things that like people, maybe your future spouse, don't want you to know. Could be them supporting the family, could be the family supporting them, but they don't want you to know. So there's the secrecy about that, okay? Interesting. So Mars, move forward and defend self. It could be some conflict, I'm not gonna lie, with the Mars energy there, but Mars also rules the self. It's house 1, Aries energy of self, your own identity, standing on your own, persevering, right? The Aries Libra axis is I versus we, self versus others, and you know this rules that I self side of that axis. And so it feels like some of you, your future in-laws may see you and your future spouse is a bit selfish in some areas, whether it's because they're supporting you or because you're not as able to support them, or you stopped in their perspective, you've stopped your future spouse from giving them as much as they had, right? The sun has set, right? House 8, sun reverse, like not like raining on the parade, not being fun, right? And that's why you've got King of Feathers, Queen of Feathers here. It's very cold, right? That's very cold energy. Like they may see you too as a bit cold because you're not helping in the way that they expected your future spouse to continue to. And with the 5 of Feathers, that is that defeat energy. It's in defeat. It's like a sabotage. It's like battling, and it's a lose-lose situation, even with Mars, because you set a boundary, but at the same time, it's like the family may not be happy about it. But if you don't set the boundary, then like House 8 rules debts, right? Poor health, your day-to-day work life could your like run down, like the stress of having to take care of all of that. Okay. And that's why I got that energy. It is a bit of a bougie energy. It's kind of like having, right? Because there's polarities. There's a side of there's a side of you where you are constantly in need and the family's constantly having to support you and your future spouse. But there's the other side where the family might be a little bit needy and needing or just wanting the support of you and the future spouse. Now, it doesn't have to be those extremes, but those are 2 polarities, and anything that falls within the middle, take it as it resonates, okay? So let me pull from this other astrology-based oracle deck. Tell me about your relationship with your future in-laws, pile 2. Some of you, this may be mirroring energy because it's 2 counterparts on the table. This may be resonating as you, and it's not because it's you. It's because you and your future spouse may be living similar realities because you've got the counterparts here, okay? You have take time to breathe out, which is a boundary, right? Disseminating moon, they say don't do certain like activities or like I think spell work and everything during this phase, but take time to breathe out is space. You may have your relationship with your future spouses, parents, family members, all of the things, right? Your in-laws in general may be a bit strained. There may be distance, maybe a bit combative, right? So, and that makes sense, right? That some of you where certain in-laws are no longer of this physical plane fell into that because there's estrangement regardless, right? Whether it's because they've crossed over or if it's because there's stress due to a lack of boundaries or boundaries that people don't like. I could see your connection with your in-laws being estranged. They see you, and by extension, your future spouse is a bit cold and combative, okay? And then with the page, and I say that because at first I was like, oh, they like you regardless. They do, like, as a person, but it's the actions and the activity, right? Because Mars rules actions, it rules activity, right? House 6 is day-to-day activity, right? So they don't like the way they perceive you two as moving. They don't like your actions in the way that you either withhold or overindulge, okay? That's the perception. So let me take one more. And also those other energies still apply, where I mentioned like inheritances and whatnot, like they're still there. They still apply for those that it resonates. It's just that another energy is coming in. Again, there's a lot of you here collectively, so there's going to be a vast variety of messages. So here we have new moon in Capricorn. Hard work is paying off. They might see you two as constantly working or constantly struggling. And I'm seeing, especially with the struggle, like if you're always needing, they see you two as always struggling, always working, and never really doing things, needing a break, or always taking a break and needing to work, right? Like that, depend if you're on that needy side. Now, The cold, detached energy is like you're always working for yourselves, right? Like you're like they may think that with that bougie energy that's coming through, like you're always taking vacations while they struggle, right? Take time to breathe out. It's kind of like a relaxed energy, like you're just chilling and living a good, comfortable life, and they're, you know, running themselves into the ground into poor health, possibly like, you know, death. And I'm using that in quotes because, you know, sometimes, especially people that are a bit manipulative, they're like, oh, you'd rather see me dead, kind of an energy coming through. All right. Especially if you and your partner are very successful professionally, because Capricorn is 10th house of career and social status. And that means that publicly it may look like you two are either always on vacation, like you work, you're accomplished, but then you two take breaks, you live comfortably, you've got nice beds, you know what I mean? All of the stuff. And you do have Aries here again. Okay, so new moon in Aries, it's time to take action, which is combative energy. Okay. So yeah, that house one of I, me versus us and we, right? A bit selfish energy, combative, constantly on the go, and not really looking out for others. That's the energy. Okay. So let me see what else I can get before I take, well, I have the bottom. I'll look at it in a second. It's like watching, right? What take time to realize, just watching them work hard and not helping, right? And it's time to take action. It implies that an action hasn't been taken. And it's like you're watching a struggle, but you're not helping. Or you're struggling and you're just waiting for us to bail you out, but you're not doing anything to support yourself. You're not self-sufficient. Okay? That's the energy that's coming through. So let's see what's at the bottom. Have faith in your dreams. They may see you too, on the more downtrodden energy. They may see you as dreamers, like don't know how to put plans into action, but constantly dreaming. Now, those of you where you are, you know, accomplished, it feels like, okay, now you've manifested all of your dreams, you work towards all of it, and now you've just kind of like abandoned everybody else that helped you get where you are, right? The kind of an energy. That's what I'm getting for you and your future spouse. So I have 3 love-based oracle decks that I will pull from. I don't know how it's going to apply to the situation, but we will see. We will see. I will pull from, there's the Romance Angels, and then there's one that's based on that. And then at the end, I'll pull from the Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle to close it out. So let me see. Tell me more about how to's relationship with their future in-laws. Some of you have faith in your dreams, hopes that they're hoping you to change your minds and begin to take care of them again. Or again, if you're needy, they're hoping, they're dreaming, praying for you two to get it together so that they don't have to support you anymore. And again, there's still those of you where you're in the middle, right? You may be accomplished, successful as a couple. The family may not be needy. They may still leave inheritances, like have that written out for you once they're no longer here, to make sure that you two can continue to thrive and prosper, right? Or it could be a situation where you two are not necessarily like lazy and just struggling because you're not trying. You may just have had a stroke of bad luck, bad health. You never know what could happen, right? Like hospital bills add up. Whatever happened, it could be you, your children, and you're just really having the hard time. They don't necessarily see you as lazy. They just see you as struggling, and they're praying that you make it out, and they're already taking at the point in which this energy is occurring, right? Taking the measures to write that out so that when they're no longer here, that you two can at least, you know, try to get on your feet if you're not at that point. Okay. So let me see. Tell me more about pile 2's. This actually came in one. So chemistry is incoming energy. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So I'm not going to lie. This is a good card, incoming. Okay. I'll tell you why. It feels like early stages. I don't know what that means. It could be years for all I know. I'm not really reading a timeline, but for you and your future spouse, the relationship with you and the in-laws is a bit strained for a while or during a certain period, a certain phase, but there's an underlying energy of them actually liking you and liking you with this person. They see you two as equally yoked, matched for each other, whatever the situation or the instances are that is causing the conflict. Underneath all of that, they like you with the Page of Shells and the chemistry. They think you fit in well with the family. So I can see with that chemistry incoming, over time, it'll warm up. Okay, that's why you have to have faith in your dreams. Especially with take time to breathe out. Like if things get tense, just take space when it happens, or if it's current energy for some of you, take the space and then work on the connection. With Capricorn and Aries, like work on building that connection, because at the end of the day, you're family, right? I can see it will heal over time. Okay, so let's see. Some of you, especially if it is a combative energy regarding inheritance, I could see that. Some of you, it could be, doesn't necessarily have to be paternal, it could be like grandparents, that a certain inheritance really caused some issues or will cause some issues with your in-laws. Like, oh, they left it to them, they left them this, but what about me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see that. Okay, so let me get another one. Tell me more about Pile 2's relationship with their in-laws. Yeah, exactly. So it, over time, you know, people get wrapped up in, like, people are really selfish inherently. So when they feel like they're not getting their way, it's going to cause conflict. And as long as everyone tries to maintain their boundaries, respecting each other's boundaries, over time, it'll be fine, right? You got chemistry, you've got it is safe for you to love, open your heart to give and receive the highest love of all. So like I said, if you and your in-laws are okay and open and receptive and not guarded and keeping away from each other with the sun and open to understanding each other, it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. Just some conflict, which happens in all families, right? So at the bottom, you've got engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Some of you, this is your confirmation that this energy is most manifest at the point of engagement, right? At the point in which you and your future spouse are engaged to be married, this may be the point in which all of this drama unfolds. But over time, right, possibly after marriage, it'll begin to heal, okay? And engagement says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, okay? So I just want you to know, with chemistry, it is safe for you to love and engagement, okay? Or some of you, this may happen right before engagement. Like after whatever drama in the dating phase, everything will heal just in time for the engagement. It just depends, okay? So let me pull from this other deck. But you have to be open and they have to be open mutually, and then it can work out. Tell me more about Pile 2's relationship with their future in-laws. Okay, I've got my 2. I'll take the bottom in a second. We will see. So a new chapter, a fresh start is always good for everyone. Doors are opening for this new phase within your love life. Yeah, this is a that house 8 energy. This is straight up your in-laws are like, oh, such and such changed since being with Pile 2, right? Like I can see that in some instances, and I can also see this new chapter being a fresh start or reset after some conflict with your in-laws. So that's good, it's healthy, right? You have Capricorn, Saturn of hardship, but it also is the glue in connections, right? There's no relationship without conflict at some point. So I like that I see that after the conflict, in some cases, extreme conflict, there's a healthy reconciliation with you and the in-laws, okay? So love that energy coming through as we begin to get closer to the end of the reading. Harvest, yeah. You've planted the seed that the universe gave you. Due to your patience and growth, you are now able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Exactly. So those of you where you're super needy, like on the most extreme end, where you're like really just not, you and your future spouse just don't have it together at all, and everybody's got to like support you, I see you stepping into an energy of harvest, right? And that being something that sets a healthy boundary between you and the family on both ends. And your relationship will be a lot better as a result. I also see those of you where you're not on the extremist end of that spectrum, where it's truly just hardships due to poor health, possibly a death or something, you know what I mean? Like anything that caused that, a new chapter, right? People healing, you know, things just changing for the better, right? Sometimes like people fall on financial hardship for the most unfortunately random reasons. And I can see that healing at one stage or another of your relationship with your future in-laws. Again, engagement seems to be a relevant stage of the connection as it relates to that relationship. Okay? And that new chapter of independence. Like this is a new chapter of you and oh yeah, especially on the negative sense, in the midst of the drama, it's like people are seeing your future spouse. It's like, oh wow, they're with pal 2. Now they've got this new chapter where they're just living the good life. They're harvesting. They've got all of this stuff and they're just not sharing. They're not, you know what I mean? They've lost sight of who they are, where they came from. Like that's kind of an energy that I see. All right. Okay, so let's look at the bottom. Love language. Let's see if I can clear it. Sorry, it is a cloudy day. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Learning and understanding each other's love languages are essential to meet each other's emotional needs. And I say, where are you? But it's like, that may be a thing. Like you may have to disappear for a while. You do have that taking space card there. I find a bit of a silver lining. Love language coming through here, and with the counterparts, the Queen of Feathers and the King of Feathers, talks about you two being very, very similar. Like they're like, man, that is crazy how that person found pile 2. Pile 2 is like just like them. That is freaky. Like in some instances, some of you may even favor each other physically. Like they're like, it's not even right. Like why are they the same person? Okay. But yeah, once you learn one another's love languages, to learn how to communicate effectively, minus that that's that 5 of Swords energy, that combative energy, all of this Aries, Mars, combative energy. Once you all learn to communicate with one another, you'll be a lot more engaged. There's more chemistry. You'll feel safe and comfortable interacting with one another. Okay? And in a new chapter of harvest will begin, right? Love that. So let me pull from this Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle and close it out. Tell me more. My final messages for pile 2's relationship with their future in-laws. I love new chapter and harvest closing it out though, especially following chemistry and it is safe for you to love. Like I can definitely see healing here in that connection, and that's important. So let's close this out. Tell me my final messages for pile 2's future in-laws and the relationship that pile 2 will have with them. Yeah, you and your person for sure are soulmates. For sure, with the King of Feathers and the Queen of Feathers. That's not a question. But again, the family, by extension, soul tribe, right? You will all be together in harmony, okay? There will be conflict. A lot of it probably at the beginning, but it'll be fine. Like you'll fit right in beyond that, okay? So let me pull 2 more. I'll close it out. Soulmates. That's your relationship with, you're all teaching each other things that you need to learn to grow and evolve as people, to transform and develop and learn how to interact with other people. Like you're all here to support one another on that journey as family, okay? That's what I'm getting. Let me get 2 more. Tell me my final thoughts about pile 2's relationship with their in-laws, please. The most important lesson you're going to learn with your in-laws is boundaries. Tell me my final thoughts. Yeah, it'll be wild. And actually, I think that was karmic ties that was trying to come out exactly. So let me see. Tell me more, please. It's taken a while. After some time, again, karmic ties, like whatever that karma is, right? Like inheritances, debts, all of the stuff, health, wellness, all of that. Attraction. Like I said, they'll like you a lot. There'll be conflict, right? I think part of the issue and the drama is that they like you, and like, you know what I mean? Like when you don't care about people, you just move on. But if there's drama and like actual hostility, it's because like maybe a certain betrayal I'm seeing. Not that it's true, but we all have different perspectives, right? There's your perspective, my perspective, and then the truth, right? Which is a hybrid. So like I said, soulmates, attraction, they feel like you're perfect for this person, right? They like you a lot beyond that conflict. So let me get my last one. Tell me my last message for pile 2. Thank you. Not now. So some of you wanted to know whatever you were going to ask. The question is not now. Some of you, if you're asking about marriage, it's like, no, it's not now. Like not right now. There's a delay, but not now feels like a delay over time. Like soulmates and attraction, your relationship with your future in-laws will be great, but not initially. Right? It'll take time and it'll take work, but it will be soulmates and attraction and chemistry, but it'll have to be after a new chapter, okay? After time. Separate. Yeah, after some time apart. So you'll meet them, you'll interact with them, you'll probably be close at first, and then that boundary will be set, whether it's them setting a boundary with you or you setting a boundary with them. Because I am leading with the energy of them kind of feeling entitled to you, but it could be like you and or your spouse feeling entitled to them. Once that boundary is set, after a bit of a separation, which is healthy and needed, right? Like don't resist the separation. Then it will get better. And some of you, it'll even be a separation with you and your future spouse. Like, but I'm seeing engagement as a key period. So it would either be before engagement or during engagement. It doesn't feel like, I don't want to scare you, this doesn't feel like energy in your marriage. If it's in your marriage, it'll be early stages because it carried over from that engagement front, right? With that card there. So I'm going to leave it here. You take what resonates, you leave what doesn't. But I hope something here resonated for you. And if it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 3. If you selected the sausage and eggs, which are sunny side up, then this is your reading. Let's see your relationship with your future in-laws. I'm gonna hop right into the tarot. And then I have 2 astrology-based oracles. And then I have 3 love-based oracles. And that includes a twin flame soulmate one. So I have a card that leapt from the top. Give me a second. Okay. You've got the Knight of Shells in reverse. I wasn't ready to take one. It slipped right off of the top. Knight of Shells in reverse is someone that is either not very passionate in pursuit of things, someone that doesn't chase people in love or doesn't date often or just doesn't pursue people often. So that could be you, or that could be your future spouse and energies that's coming through for the relationship with the future in-law. So let me see. Tell me about the future in-laws of pile 3. Sausage and eggs. What's that? King of Crystals. Courage and commitment. Yeah, so it feels like either you or your person, could be both, your future in-laws, like there's a huge fixation on someone that is not very either experienced or someone that just doesn't date around a lot, like that's not very passionate about like love and romance. And like with the King of Crystals here, it's a bit of a masculine edge. Doesn't have to be a masculine person, but it's with courage and commitment. It talks about someone pursuing that stability, right? Very stable energy. right? So whether that means that someone is not looking to date around, someone's looking immediately for a connection, a commitment, and still something stable, or if it's someone that's kind of guarded and afraid of that, okay? I want to keep pulling so I could see, identify this energy. I want 2 more. Tell me more about Pile 3's relationship with their future in-laws, please. And how the in-laws see them, please. Okay, we've got both of them here. So, 7 of Shells, choice, ambitions. 7 of Shells talks about options, choices, right? Like the card says. Like, look at all of those options, all of the fish in the sea available. And with the Wheel of Fortune, right? Fixed energy, change, possibilities. Talks about prosperity, I see. It feels like they feel that your future spouse did a good job, okay? Like, they see you as the perfect person to settle down with, like someone that is very commitment-minded, commitment-oriented, right? Someone that is stable enough for a family and helping to support one, whatever the role is. And they're very, I don't want to say surprised. It's not a surprise. It's like, okay, of all of the options, this is the one you ended up with. Great job, right? Like, especially if your person was on that end of the spectrum that was like afraid of commitment and kind of had a lot of fish in the sea, if you know what I mean. This person made a very prosperous choice in the eyes of your in-laws. Like, they're like, okay, good, you came home with the Wheel of Fortune, thank God, of all of the ones we've seen you with, right? If that's the end. Now, that said, is like how when you have someone that kind of detached and is not dating as much, right? Very focused on material gains and growth with the King of Crystals, right? Building a future for themselves. It's like, how in all of the things you're juggling did you find Pile 3? That's the energy. So let's see what's at the bottom. 2 of Feathers, decisions and direction. Okay. Honestly, this is a pile where the in-laws don't even see you coming. They're like, you know, we'll read the King of Crystals as your person. It's like, this person's got so much going on. They're juggling so many hats. They've got hobbies, they've got a career, they got a job, they got stuff. Like, they want to travel, they want to do this and that. And like, how in the world did they end up with Pile 3 in the midst of all of that busybody energy? Right? Like, there's no way they move around so much. They do so many things that how did they even experience Pile 3, right? 2 of Feathers is a blindfold traditionally. It's not being able to see what to do. And maybe your person has a tendency to kind of twiddle their thumbs when it comes to making decisions. That's why you have all of these options. Like, your person may have a tendency to be overwhelmed when it comes to making a decision. They may be avoidant, right? With the 7 of Shells, there's so much going on. Let me just do something completely unrelated. And then you have the 2 of Feathers, which is a decision that you're sitting on and not doing. So this person may be that way. And like, the family just seems, that's why I keep getting kind of an energy of surprise of, right? With the wheel, like the wheel turned in a direction they didn't see coming when you stepped in. Or step in as incoming energy. Okay, so let's start with the astrology-based oracle decks, and so we can get more energy. Tell me more about Pile 3 and their relationship with their in-laws. Some of your in-laws will see you as very eclectic. They never know what they're gonna get with you. You've got a lot going on. You've got a lot of hobbies, right? Like your career ambitions, like whatever it is, you've got a lot. Like, there's many layers to you. Jupiter, yeah, growth and expansion. So much growth and expansion from you and or your person, and just maybe traveling a lot, go, lots of options, lots of things, like hands in a lot of baskets, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of things going on. Very cultured, right? Well educated, maybe deeply spiritual in some senses, because this is Sagittarius energy, also 9th house energy. So maybe foreign in nature to them in some sense, because again, that is Sagittarius rules other people's cultures and whatnot that are different from you. So that may be how your in-laws see you. Okay, so let me get one more. Venus in house 10, that's very material energy coming through. That's that, like that king of crystals. It's very grounded. Honestly, you may be successful materially, and that may be something that is of interest to the in-laws. Let me get my last one from this deck and we'll take the bottom. Can I have one more card, please? How many is that? That's too many. We're not taking those. That's 3. Well, let's be nosy and peek at them. I'm like, let's look at them. House 5, Cancer, house 11. Yeah. That is the 5th and 11th house axis. So social, go energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like networking, having acquaintances, hanging out with friends, like traveling, interacting with lots of different people. House 7, exactly. It says profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. So yeah, with Jupiter in house 7, it does feel like a connection with someone that is very different, possibly culturally. And that may be why we have the wheel, right? And the 2 of feathers may be not knowing how to connect, like a disconnect initially because of that difference. Now, house 7 shows that they see you as the perfect partner still for your future spouse. Okay, like that's the thing. Like that's why you have the King of Crystals, like courage and commitment. And now you have the card of commitment itself here, saying like these people see you as like, wow, like pile 3 is exactly what we want in a spouse for such and such, right? Like this is exactly what we've been looking for. This is exactly the type of person they should settle down with, right? And they also see you as morphing this person, if that's not been their energy historically, into someone that is very commitment and relationship minded. Okay, like they've grown or are growing, right, at that point in which you're interacting with the in-laws, into someone that is less avoidant, less indecisive, and more sure and certain about what they want in their future. Okay, so at the bottom, Saturn, yeah, exactly. It says feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work and patience. That said, I know that's what that card said, but Saturn in its light sense, it is commitment, right? It's glue. It holds you together. It's things you're deeply committed to, things you work on, things you build. And that's how they see you. And that's how they see the connection you have with your future spouse. Very solid, very strong, with a very good foundation. Something that will be able to stand the test of time. Something that nothing's going to really be able to come between the two of you. So that seems healthy, okay? So let's see. Especially since with 7 of Shells, it looks like there's a lot of people with their eye on your future spouse. I don't know why, but it just seems like maybe they're successful, maybe they're doing well for themselves at the point in which you're together and interacting with the in-laws, but there seems like there are people that may try it. Okay, so let's see. A fiery climax approaches. Ooh, okay, full moon in Aries. Yeah, they see that you are not the one to be tried. That's funny. Comment below, pile 3. I wanna meet you. I wanna know what's going on, because it feels like I'm saying, like, it feels like there's people that will try like your future spouse. Like there's nothing that's like committed. There's nothing that could really like create conflict and break you two up beyond repair. And then boom, a fiery climax approaches, and it's like your energy stepped in like, yeah, I wish somebody would try it. That's funny, and I love it. But like, exactly, like very strong, very powerful, very stable, right? Like you can handle yourself without your future spouse. And that's kind of what makes you kind of stand out from all of the shells in the 7 of Shells card, right? Is like that may be unique to the people that may be trying it, right? So let me pull one more, and I'll take the bottom from this deck, and we'll hop into those 3 love-based oracle decks. Thank you. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing on, building. You're constantly building. So the one thing that they see, all of you collectively in this pile, because you all have different stories and different energies and different parts will resonate, your growth, your expansion, your knowledge, right? Your constant need to grow and be better and to improve, and you inspiring that in your future spouse. That's what your future in-laws see most about you, is your expansive nature. Okay, constantly growing, all only up from here. That is what they see. Okay, lots of energy, right? Like you may be active physically, like you may be like the type that works out a lot. Like they see that, like whatever your activity is, and even if it's not working out a lot, you may like to travel a lot, you may move around a lot, you may have a lot of friends that you're doing this, you're doing that, you got a lot of errands, like you're a go-go busybody in a good way. That's how the in-laws see you. Very productive. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And they see that as complementary to the type of relationship you have with your future spouse. So at the bottom, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, the perfect spouse. That is how your future in-laws see you, right? You've got the spouse card, right? A new romantic cycle begins, equally yoked with their child, niece, nephew, whoever it is, right? But Libra is house 7 energy. It is of formal contracts, business deals, partnerships, specifically the card that rules marriage as well. And with that being here, you got that. You've got the actual house 7 here on the table. And then you've got that solid king of crystals, right? Of commitment. They see you as commitment minded, commitment oriented, or at least as it relates to your future spouse, all in. Okay. And they actually like love and admire that. Okay. Interesting. So let me pull from these and we'll get ready to close it out after these 3 decks. Tell me more about pile 3's relationship with their future in-laws. Okay. I want 2 from this deck. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. The in-laws love you. That's what that energy is. That's what that energy is. Your person was like kind of all over the place, and maybe you're all over the place, but like something about your energy is bringing them closer to their family. Right? That's that commitment, stable energy. Something about you're grounding your future spouse. Even if you don't seem grounded yourself, because you don't seem grounded yourself with the energy, or maybe this is your person's energy in some instances that I'm picking up that very busybody energy, but you are grounding your person in the sense that it's making them closer with their family. So the in-laws are close to you and they love you because by extension, they're getting more of your future spouse because they may not see them as much or deal with them as much, but something about you, you're that glue that's kind of tying it all together, okay? So let me get one more. I'm seeing you helping this person heal trauma, right? Let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Some of you may be a free spirit, and because of that, like, your person's having to loosen up a little bit and be less stiff, and the family sees that, right? Like they're a little more lighthearted, free, expansive, more open-minded by extension of the connection. And they're liking that for refreshed energy. Something about healing family issues and let go of control issues is standing out to me. Some of you, whereas you're not like that super free spirit, you may be that very organized individual, right? You may be good at like rounding up the troops, and that is something they deeply admire, right? You doing that. Let me see what's at the bottom. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Yeah, they see you two as like really compatible, like liking each other. They like you. They like the coupling. They feel like you're bringing peace and joy and like healing to the family in and of itself, right? If your person's very stubborn, especially when it comes to like conflict, you may be a bit more of a peacemaker. You ease them up. You make them less aggressive. Oh, I'm realizing that makes sense. We have the Aries Libra axis here, right? We do have house 7 in Libra, but we do have Aries and Libra, which is the I versus me, us versus we axis, right? The self versus your relationships with other people. So yeah, I mean, they feel like you have a healthy sense of independence, identity beyond your future spouse, which they like, but they like that you allow them to also be themselves and have their own identity outside of you, and that you two mesh just really, really well together in harmony. So let's pull more cards. Tell me more about pile 3's relationship with the future spouse, with the future in-laws, and what the future in-laws think of pile 3. Goodness. Everything's, and that's higher self in reverse, by the way. I don't know why, but the initial read of that was that you don't think you're above other people. Like you have a certain humility about you. And maybe that's that Sagittarius Jupiter energy coming through of you connect very well with other people, various types of people, 7 of shells, right? Like there's various different types of people and you can get along with all of them regardless of background, social status, culture. You just get along well with people. And you don't think you're above people. Again, a very humble energy. Tell me more about my pile 3. What is their relationship with their future in-laws? Please tell me. I would like 2 from this deck, actually. So let's see. Okay, and there they both are. And devotion fell as incoming energy. From the moment they meet you, they will slowly over time begin to love you more and more, okay? And it says a dedicated partner whose love is unconditional and eternal. They love you because they feel like, especially if your future spouse is very successful and has lots of people chasing them, they feel like you love them at their core for who they are, despite any flaws they may have with Saturn, right? You know what I mean? Like you know them for who they are and you love them despite any flaws for all the right reasons, unconditionally, right? Dedicated, committed to them, not whatever they have going on. That's what the in-laws are thinking of you, and that's what they deeply admire. Communication. Again, you may get them more in contact with healing family issues. They interact with their family a lot more through you. Like you may be the one keeping them in contact with their family, especially if they're a busybody, right? You've got a conversation is on the horizon. Someone is planning to reach out, be ready to express yourself. Like you may call and check in on the in-laws. Whatever that is, if that's your nature, that's something they will deeply admire. If not, when they reach out to you, you'll always be receptive and loving and devoted. Like your energy is very welcoming to the in-laws and they feel the same way, okay? Break up. Time apart is on the horizon. This may be short-term or long-term. So here's the thing. Some of you may break up with your future spouse at some point and then get back together because obviously we're talking about a future spouse. Some of you may be asking about an ex, like an ex-spouse. These in-laws of yours, they love that their relationship with you is not contingent on your relationship with this spouse. Like you have your own connection independent of this person with the family, hence the Aries Libra axis. So you have your own relationship with this person, okay? Like you have your own relationship with these people, and no breakup would stop them from interacting with you and loving you and connecting you. Like this is a family that would still invite you to everything, even if you're not with this person anymore. Some of you, that's how you'll get back together. And also, breakup also implies space. If you two travel a lot or move around a lot or move abroad or whatever, they like that despite the space, right? With breakup, despite the space, the distance between you and the family, you stay in touch. You're very committed. You're very engaged in what's going on with them. You keep in contact. You send pictures. You send videos. You check, you know what I mean? Like you make, it's like you're still there, okay? Because I get a lot of, with the Sagittarius energy, a lot of moving. For some of you with your future spouse. If you're not in one place for very long or near the family very long, they love how you make sure to keep in touch with them, okay? So let me pull from my last deck. This is my Twin Flame Soulmate Oracle. And we'll close this out for my pile 3s. So I want my final messages. Give me 3 for my pile 3 and their relationship with their future in-laws. Some of you, breakup is here because it's like they don't see you two ever breaking up. because of how devoted you are and how well you communicate. So that's something they deeply admire about the connection. Okay? Yeah. Exactly. They see you as your future spouse's one true love. Like no breakup would ever like keep you to, like you're going to be together forever. That's how they see you. Like you are the one. Okay. And we do have Aries, Libra, which is kind of like Mars, Venus, divine masculine, divine feminine, like kind of, if you believe in those labels, twin flames of energy. That's how they see you too. And I said that at 22 minutes and 11 seconds of recording. I don't even know why I'm holding this like that. Some of you, if it was a breakup, because I did see separate, they consider you the one that got away. If I'm talking about past energy. Yeah. It's a long time. Book of Love. Yeah, something about your connection, especially with Saturn here, it feels like a journey. Might be a long courtship, long engagement prior to a wedding. If there is even a wedding, and even if not, like you may have been married for quite some time if we're talking about past energy. But something about this, it just feels like a whole novel, a whole book, the one. Right? There's a lot that you two may have been through, and you still persevere regardless, in some sense. Last card for my pile 3. Tell me about the future in-laws. What do they think of you? Why is that there? Okay, commitment in reverse did come out with the one in Book of Love. You may be the one that got away in some instances. Okay, I'm nosy, so let me just... You got 2 yeses. You got lucky in love. Yes. Magic moment. I'll just put them all out there since they're here. Lucky in love. Yes. Magic moment. Yes. Some of you, if you break up or if you've broken up, or if this is a person that you are close with, engaged with, and then you call it off, the family's like, the one Book of Love, commitment reverse, like, oh no, that's not how that's gonna go. You're lucky in love. This is the one. This is the magic money. The family will literally, the in-laws will orchestrate. Yeah, like, because it's still a dark, cloudy day, but I feel like it got brighter just now. The family would literally orchestrate getting you two back together. Yes, I know that's chaotic, but 2 yeses. Like the family sees you as a yes, yes. Lucky in love, magic moment, soul level, and attraction, which we've got attraction twice on the table. Let me just take the bottom. Chemistry. Yeah. They feel like you are your future spouse's one true love. Hence, I mean, I say future spouse, like this is someone you're going to eventually marry, because we were talking about it, even though some of you may take it out of context for you to fit your own energy. Like if you don't see yourself getting married, you see yourself just being in a long-term commitment. Like, yeah. But you've got 2 yeses. So they love you. Nothing's better than you. No one's better than you. Okay. So I'm just going to close it out here and wrap it up. I hope that it resonated for you, pile 3. Hopefully it did. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 4. If you selected the waffles with mixed assorted fruit, then this is your reading. So I'm going to hop right into it. Well, let's look and see your future in-laws, right? The relationship you're going to have with them, what they think of you, and all of the things. Probably will get some tea on your future spouse, because obviously these are your in-laws by extension of that person. So I'm going to hop right into the tarot. So we're going to start with the stack. I have 2 astrology-based oracle decks, as well as 3 love-based ones, which includes that Twin Flame Soulmate deck. So let's see. How for my waffles. And if some of you were looking for pancakes, but they weren't there because we only have so many pile selections, then welcome. Right? Same batter. Right? I don't know. I can't get a good shuffle right now. Let me adjust my technique. Alrighty. How for? Tell me about your future in-laws. Ace of Crystals. Manifestation and prosperity. They're going to feel like you have it going on, Pile 4. Like, your future in-laws are like, wow, Pile 4 is great. Where'd you find them? Like a new beginning, a fresh start in some instances for your future spouse, especially if they've like had a history, a certain history as it relates to love and romance. They just see though that pinnacle, right? That's monetary gain, that's materialistic stuff. So they just feel like you are very grounded and someone with opportunities and options as it relates to your love life, as well as what you're going to do with your life. Okay. And they also feel like with manifestation, right? Like your person, your future spouse manifested like the perfect spouse. So they're very impressed with that. Let me get 2 more. Yeah, Knight of Acorns, action, drive, someone that's very driven, right? Someone that's very goal-oriented, someone that's got a lot going on, that's always looking for their next shot, their next opportunity. That's how the in-laws see you. But also, they see you as a breath of fresh air in the sense of the energy that is radiating from your future spouse at that point in which, you know, you're engaging your in-laws. Is, I don't know that your future in-laws have ever seen your future spouse as passionate about this. Like this, it's like an awakening of manifestation and of gain, of where they can be, who they can be, and like where they're headed. Okay. You may want to pick a different pile, but don't feel pressured to. You do not have to. I'm going to take my last card. There's 3, but that's way too many. I'll look at them. 10 of Feathers. Yeah, your person's had it rough. They've had a lot of conflict and stress as it relates to love and romance. And like lots of betrayal. I saw in those cards. And you are like a breath of fresh air as it relates to the in-laws. So yeah, let's get this last card from this deck and take the bottom. Tell me more about Pile 4's in-laws, like future in-laws. Thank you. That's 2. We can take 2. 4 of Crystals, control, security. Yeah, very grounded, very stable, right? Because we saw the 5 of Wands a little while ago, but it's like, that's chaotic. That's like this, it's continuously moving energy and nothing grounded or rooted in material or even reality, right? So like, it seems like the in-laws are impressed that they ended up with someone as level-headed as you. Like you feel very level-headed, right? Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Acorns, right? Action-oriented, right? The Knight of Acorns can be a little underdeveloped, like someone that's very passionate and acts without thinking, but it doesn't seem that way with you at all because it's grounded in this Ace of Crystals, this 4 crystals. Like you're chasing stability, you're chasing security, and you know, they see that influence on your future spouse with the 8 of Shells, a quest, a renewal, evolution, growth, moving beyond your current circumstances. That's what you're always looking to do in the eyes of your future in-laws. And they love that. Like they love that you have a long-term plan, that you're chasing it, that you're building it, and that's encouraged, and that they can see that in your future spouse, okay? 8 of Shells feels like moving beyond a certain period for your future spouse, and they're just so happy that your future spouse moved beyond whatever stagnation with the 4 crystals they were in, right? Like whatever they were chasing might have been like a dead end, could be a connection, could be a career path, but whatever it is your future spouse was chasing prior to meeting or being with you, like the in-laws are just so happy that like they let it go. Because it could have been a person, right? It could have been an ex, but some of you, it's not just that. It's the certain way that they were chasing stability, the way that they were trying to get ahead financially or career-wise, okay? The bottom, you have Ace of Shells. Yeah, you inspired a new passion in other ways, like, right? It's more than just getting ahead materially, being stable financially, right? Like being, like the 4 crystals isn't just about being secure materially, it's about being secure emotionally and in terms of love and all of that. And like that's a renewed sense in your future spouse at the point in which you're interacting with your in-laws that they see, right? That inspired energy of that Ace of Crystals, right? A new perspective on the physical plane, a new perspective on love and feelings with the Ace of Shells, because it does say happiness and abundance, right? Like a new spin on happiness and abundance for your person. And even here with this turtle on there, it feels like a slowing down. If your person is the Knight of Acorns, and look, ironically enough, underneath, you've got the Ace of Acorns. So fire, creative force, and confidence. A slowing down, right? Slowing your person down in a good way, right? Like they're still ambitious. They're still goal-oriented. They're still trying to chase security. But it's with a long-term plan. It's not trying to get ahead quickly, right? It's taking the time to evolve and embracing the journey. And that's something that you, like, for whatever reason, it feels like your in-laws are very invested in the changes they see in your future spouse versus you. Like you're great. They see you as great. But by extension of that, they're seeing growth and evolution in your future spouse. So that's nice. Let's pull. I've got 2 astrology oracle decks. I'm going to start with this one. Tell me more about pile 4's relationship with their future in-laws. Okay. Earth, look at that. Very grounded. Your whole relationship with your future in-laws, if I haven't said it, is grounded. Ace of Crystals, 4 of Crystals, like Ace of Shells, like very grounded, okay? But it says persistence, patience, and practicality. There's certain patience that your person has, like at that point, that the in-laws are like, where did they get this energy from? I'm just going to take this one since it's screaming at me. Then we'll look at the bottom. But like a certain grounded, secure, stable energy that's coming through. House 6, yeah, practical energy. That is Virgo energy. It says establishing a foundation, health, daily life, practical details, the routine. Like your person may have more structure around them, more routine. Like something about you, you are very structured. You're very routine oriented, right? Possibly by extension, commitment oriented. And it's really something that the in-laws like it's the one quality you have that they just, nothing surpasses it. At the bottom, you've got Saturn, which is feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learning hard work, and patience. Patience, right? If your person moves very quickly, you slow them down. If they're moving too slow, you speed them up. That's the energy. Okay. And Saturn is not all work, no play. It's about building. It's about commitment. It's about doing what's necessary to make sure that you have what you need and that things are functioning as they should. It's setting the routine, right? It's having the attention to detail. It's all of those things, okay? But heavy earth energy. So one or both of you may be earth placements for sure. That's Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Sorry about that. Throat's a little scratchy. Let's see. Let's take this one. Tell me more about your relationship with your future in-laws. Pile 4. Again, patient. Very patient. There's 2 cards that came out. Be bold and make the first move. They like that you're not afraid to call someone out, specifically your future spouse. Cardinal energy is initiating energy. The cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. Okay, so initiators, beginning of seasons. You may meet your future in-laws at the beginning of a season, right? So yeah, something about making the move. Either you are bold and you are like dominant and you make moves, or like you encourage your person to do that in some senses. Like, so it could be that you're that way, or that you inspire that in your future spouse and they really like that. And look, don't let your past hold you back. You don't dwell on what's happened already. You don't hold anybody responsible for it. You move on. Okay? Like, you're not holding your future spouse accountable for any past actions. You've moved beyond that. And if you're future spouse has a tendency, I mentioned that stagnation and not knowing when to move on from something or someone. You inspire that moving forward, that not getting stuck. The South Node is comfort zones, right? It's where you're familiar, you're used to, it's the skills you were inherently born with, so that you can get ahead and things can be easier in this area. But you don't want to stagnate in that South Node energy. You want to move forward towards your North Node. And you come across as very much a North Node individual, right? Like moving ahead, not stuck in the past, not worried about where you came from or who you were or what would happen. It's all about where you're going, but with patience and diligence. Okay. So it's time to take action with new moon. That's that cardinal energy, maybe cardinal placements here. Okay. But it's time to take action. You're not going to stagnate in any sense. And they deeply admire that. So let's hop into these love-based oracle decks and see what else we can get about your relationship with your future in-laws and how they see you. They see you as someone very respectable. I'm not gonna lie, like very respectable, like someone with it together, someone that's got it going on, someone that could be anybody. Patient, see? Very patient. Okay, that one slipped out. It hit the floor. Let me grab it. I do want two from this deck, so I will pull another one. Yeah, exactly. This is actually an interesting card, a perfect card to come out. You've got religious factors. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. You may be religious, you may be spiritual, and they admire that, but it doesn't have to be the case. That is that house 6 energy, day-to-day life, working energy, building, like that Saturn, like building, hard work, patience, diligence, routine. You're predictable, right? You know exactly what you're going, you have a plan. Not predictable in a boring way, like you're not going to make any move that people don't expect. You absolutely make moves that people don't expect, but it's always a part of your plan to get ahead, right? Like building, okay? Let me get one more, but they see us very stable, routine oriented, especially as it relates to parents. That's like the best compliment to get from an in-law, honestly. Someone stable, dependable. There's 2 cards here. We'll take them. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So this could be the one. The parents are really encouraging. So the in-laws, like they're really like, and I'm saying it's parents specifically, so it could be for this pile, but this could be the one. Feels like they really see you as, you know, your future spouse is one person, and they are very encouraging. So if you know your future spouse prior to like dating or in being like, you know, getting to know them on a romantic level, the parents are actually encouraging that. Like if the parents know you, if the in-laws know you, they would encourage this, especially if you meet through religious indicators, like through church, mosque, whatever the religious affiliation is. This may be you may be someone they try to set you up with them. Worth waiting for, exactly, right? Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah, especially if it's a setup. Like they want this union with you specifically if the in-laws know you prior to the connection, okay? Specific message for some of you. Especially if they're dwelling on someone else and they're like, no, 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 pile 4. Pile 4 is the one, okay? You be patient and you work on pile 4. That's what I'm getting, okay? And get in your routine, get stable. Pile 4 is what you should be pursuing. I can see that in a plethora of scenarios. Now, I can see some of you, your future spouse engaging in-laws, could be parents, could be not, about you prior to a serious connection. And in that sense, they're like, yes, this is exactly what you need. Someone secure, someone practical, someone that passionate, someone that you are starting to fall in love with. You should definitely be patient and work with pile 4. That's what I'm saying. Okay, this could be the one worth waiting for. And also, it was worth it to take your time and get to know somebody authentic. Those are the examples I'm seeing with how your in-laws are seeing you. So very soon. Oh, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So Some of you, it may happen now. It may happen soon. Like some of you, you do have aces all over the place, right? There's ace of shells, which has the ace of, I can't remember what, acorns. And then ace of crystals, right? You've got all of this rooted energy, right? You've got, don't let the past hold you back. It's time to take action, and now very soon. Okay? And this could be the one worth waiting for. So maybe it takes a little more patience. So some of you here already know this person, and that's why you've got that in-laws, the parents, that it looks like some of you, it's kind of like an arranged or a setup through friends or something in some instances. So let's see. Tell me more about pile 4 and what their relationship is like with their future in-laws. Oh, that's cute. So honestly, y'all, we talk about future spouse, future in-laws, like marriage. These in-laws are there the whole way, like getting to know, courtship. Like it feels like these in-laws are very invested in the connection throughout the whole process, the dating, from courtship to marriage. Okay, so it says, sorry, it is a cloudy day and it is starting to get late. If I can get this to clear, it says this period of development towards a romantic relationship is important. This time will help you both see if marriage is in the cards yet. The parents are very invested. I'm saying that specifically because some of you, it is very specifically the parents. Very invested in the courtship, okay? I want one more. But these, regardless of if they're invested or how they're invested, or if they're actually setting up or matching based on religion and whatnot, those of you where it's not religion and the parents are not like pushing you to like their friends' kids and whatnot, I'm saying still either you or your partner will be engaging in-laws, whether that's parents, siblings, cousins, on what to do and how to proceed with this connection, okay? Prior to the marriage. Safe place. Let's see if I can clear you up. There's nothing like being able to let your guard down and know that you are protected by your partner's love. Safe place. I should probably cut the light on at this point, but I'm almost done. So it is what it is. We're working with it. The in-laws see you as very comfortable, comforting, and stable with this person throughout the process, okay? At the bottom, you have be clear about what you want, because within the blink of an eye, it will be yours very soon. Oh my gosh, you have it twice. Y'all, pile 4, what is happening? It's happening. I was not expecting very soon to be here 2 times. I'm so sorry for the lighting. I don't feel like it's over with. It's almost done. But you got very soon twice. Give me a second. I'll just buckle down and do it. It's fine. Okay, we're back. So it's funny because like, I don't know why I was being that way. Normally I just turn the light on, but I just did not feel like doing it. So I feel like one of you, like you or your future spouse, just has that really stale, stiff, not budging energy, just not wanting to move around, or maybe not even wanting to engage the connection initially. But yeah, I don't know why I was doing that. But now you can see everything. You can see the religious factors. This could be the one worth waiting for, all of the things that are on the table. But the most important thing is that that double whammy of very soon. Okay? Clearly decide what it is you want so that it comes to you now. And, you know, be clear about what you want, because within the blink of an eye, it will be yours. So listen, it's time to take action very soon. All of the aces here, worth waiting for. Something is shifting in the present tense. And when I say present, I mean at the point in which you find this reading, because this is timeless. So whenever you see this for the first time, something is happening very soon as it relates to your dating life, whether it is your future spouse, in-laws, all of the things, soon. And some of you know that already. You're already courting, you're already just confirming what it's going to be like, but grounded, stable energy. Your in-laws feel like you're the perfect match to the point where they would literally arrange it. Like they would do that. That's why there's some of you here. Yeah, someone's alarm is going off. It's like right now, right? You have very soon. So yeah, That's why there's so much chaos happening right now. So I'm going to pull from this last deck. But now that that's stopped, I do want to finish that point of, so there's those of you where the in-laws are encouraging the connection once they are aware of you. And then there's those of you where like they are orchestrating it, whether in a foundation of religion or just community, cultural. And you're all coming into this pile together because the one denominator here is how grounded and secure and stable you two will be together, you and your future spouse, and how comfortable you will be, how safe you'll both be together. Okay, they just feel like it's a perfect match. So let me close it out. I'll pull 3 cards from this deck. And we'll wrap it up. So let me see. Tell me my last thoughts about distance. Okay, I've got 3. 3 hit the deck, so we'll take them. At the bottom, you've got playing games. So again, maybe, I don't know if there's because playing games can be associated with youth, like youthful energy. Someone may be a little immature or needing to mature, just not very grounded. And with distance, I do see this Knight of Acorns running the distance, going the distance. Possibly someone that may be either needing to be reeled in, or someone that needs to be grounded, or even space, right? Especially since it seems like the in-laws are very invested. There could be a period of distance between you and your future spouse at some point where they're like, this is the one, get it together. Okay, well, let me see what these last 2 cards have to say. Yes, and faith, right? I can see your in-laws like praying about, like, please let these 2 go ahead and proceed with this union. Let them get it together. Please let them say yes, right? I can see that for those of you, especially where the in-laws are very religious or deeply spiritual in any way. And playing games is also orchestrating, by the way. It is meddling. So this is the pile of meddlesome in-laws, just so we're clear, okay? Especially where like this is the type of in-laws, they're like, oh, you 2 are fighting? What do you mean you're fighting? What do you mean you went home to your parents? Why aren't you at your house? Like, why are you with your parents? Why aren't you with your spouse? Right? Like, what do you mean? Like, no, you go back home, you pray about it. Like, that's the energy, okay? That is the energy. What do you mean? What do you mean such and such is playing game? You know what I mean? Like, that, it's so meddlesome, okay? So meddlesome. But yeah, I mean, good energy here. Very good energy. Like, even when they're not with you, they are there supporting you in any way they can, okay? This seems like my pile, before I close it out, it seems like my pile, your in-laws are more likely to take your side in any disagreements. Like they got you, okay? So that is all I have for you today, pile 4. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know of the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.